Hello everybody. So I've been developing an iOS game that I've called Keepy-Uppy after the soccer term. So basically, the goal is to keep the ball in the air as long as possible and get it above the black horizontal line in order to score points. So if you tap the bouncing ball GIF, you basically get all the rules. So I don't want to bore you with this, so you can look at this later. Let's start. So you have the option of choosing between 3 different types of balls, a beach ball, a basketball, and a bowling ball. The beach ball has the most bounce, basketball is right in the middle, and bowling ball has the least bounce. So let's try the beach ball for now. And then you have the option of 3 different backgrounds. You have a desert, a beach, and a forest. So the desert's very dry, so there's less damping factors. So you have the most airtime there. The beach is right in the middle, and the forest is generally more humid, so you have less airtime since there's more damping factors that come into play. So let's try playing with the desert right now. So basically, the way the scoring works is any tap in this middle region is worth 1 point, and any tap below this red horizontal line called the danger zone is worth 3 points. So in addition to that, any collision with the wall is an extra point, and any collision with the ceiling is an extra 3 points. So let's start gameplay. So the hardest part, I think, about designing the game was probably coming up with the ball bouncing algorithm. It took quite a while to come up with this, but eventually I did at MHacks with the help of several Apple engineers. So basically, the main premise behind the ball bouncing algorithm is it's based off the center of the ball. In Swift, there's a library called SpriteKit, and SpriteKit provides something called an anchor point, which is centered at 0.5 in the X and Y coordinates. So basically, the way it works is you could set an impulse to either the X or Y direction based on where you tap the ball. So if you're on the left side of the 0.5 axis, then the ball will jump towards the right. If you tap to the right of it, it'll jump towards the left. So I had to come up with quite a bit of math for that. I can show you guys in a bit. So if we pull up the code here, I just upgraded to Xcode 7, so there's a bunch of compilation errors, which is not good, but I will resolve that later. Basically, here is the calculation algorithm to see where the ball goes. So it's a bunch of math. It's kind of boring, but basically you get the position of where you tap it, like the X and Y position. You have the ball center, X and Y values, which is always 0.5, and you calculate a difference ratio from the center, subtracting the X or Y direction, and take the absolute value of that. So this will basically tell you the strength of the tap. If you tap closer to the center, then you're gonna get obviously a higher bounce because that's more of like the sweet spot area of ideally where you want to tap. So let's go into more of the strategy behind the game. If you're using a beach ball, it's lighter, so it's easier to stay closer to the bottom and play a more defensive style. You get a much higher bounce, so then you don't have to tap it quite as rapidly as, say, a bowling ball, for example. So you could play a lot closer to the danger zone and accumulate extra points that way. You can also do several wall combos in general, and you can also try like a ceiling combo as well. So that's generally a suggested tactic if you're using the beach ball. The bowling ball, on the other hand, does not have a lot of bounce at all. Let's try it in the least bouncy background. So for a bowling ball, you generally want to sort of button mash in order to successfully obtain points, because if you try doing what you did with the beach ball, it's more likely to fall because you can't really get to bounce if you don't tap it very often. Let's see. Let's try the basketball. Basketball is like sort of like right in the middle. It's sort of the jack of all trades, very solid in all aspects, but probably not as specialized as the beach ball or the bowling ball. So you could sort of do a bit of everything, I guess. You could ceiling. Let's see. It's a bit harder on this stage. You could use wall combos on all of them, but then like for this one, it's generally recommended to play more towards the center of the screen, because you can't really button mash as well as you can with the bowling ball, and you can't really play close to the danger zone as the beach ball. But it's very adequate in many regards. So that's sort of jack of all trades style. So going back on the challenges of making this game, I would say one of the biggest issues was dealing with copyrights. It's been a very significant problem trying to find stock images and royalty-free music. That was probably one of the hardest challenges, I would say. Basically, when the game loads up, there's a splash screen showing a list of how do I say this? Any copyright licenses that I had to acquire in order to use the music. I obtained this off a website from a friend that a friend linked to me. So then I have permission to use this as long as I enlisted it in the splash screen. So when you download this and it first loads up, you'll see all the copyright stuff. Okay, so I want to give a special thanks to several of my friends who really helped me out on this project. It took about 2 weeks. I started on September 3rd, finished around September 17th. What day is it? 19th. So I submitted it yesterday to the App Store, so hopefully that goes well. So I want to give a special shout out to Anna Chambor, Will Gu, Chris Orcutt, Shahan Khan, Shri Damija, and Jahan Cherian for all the help and support that they've given me. And yeah, thank you very much. So in one week, I'll find the results from Apple. So hopefully that goes well. If not, well, I try my best and I have no regrets. And then from there, just try to improve my game, no? For sure. Thank you very much. See you later.